Oh, guys, I have to talk about something that was a bit traumatic.
What is this?
So, okay. So speaking of sight gags, right? Sight gags are when something's really funny, or something somebody gets slimed, or there's a stunt involved, which, kids shows have to rely on a lot for visual comedy, visual physical comedy. Nickelodeon has that in spades. We were trying to compete with Nickelodeon a lot of times. So some of the more fantastical elements of the show had, eggs falling on someone, or when they cut away in this episode, I was singing opera and there was tomatoes thrown at me. Okay. So do you remember how in the stage we had our green screen all the way in the back? Mm-hmm. That's where we did a lot of the more CGI or green screen stuff. Okay. Well, somebody, I'm not going to say who, but on the production team thought it would be okay to use actual very large tomatoes, and they cut them up. I remember this very clearly. And they had red paint, tempura red paint poured into the red tomatoes. And they proceeded to chuck them at me. Like, I'd say they were trying to be light, but they were very large tomatoes. So as they hit, and they also kept trying to do it because it was done in black and white, but it was like a bell dress. And so the dress needed to take the paint and smear it, right? They wanted it to look really crazy. Yeah. Well, what they didn't realize was that I had braces, right? So the braces, when things would hit me in the mouth, would hurt.
Cut your mouth out.
Yeah. But then the worst thing, Shia walks up and somebody hands him like 2 tomatoes.
No.
Yes, dude.
No.
They handed him 2 tomatoes and he got this mischievous grin on his face and he started throwing tomatoes at me. And I was like, oh my God. And my mom, she freaked out. Well, no, because I came to her and I was like, I can't do this. I was really insecure at the time about my braces, about my body, about everything. Yeah. And about my singing.
Well,
because they had me singing as he was throwing them at me. So I felt extremely, of course. So I understand little Christy's mentality of that and why I'm still a little traumatized by it, but also to probably not the best to use real tomatoes or other co-stars to do that.
That doesn't ever go well. Wait, so did you get hit in the mouth?
I did.
You did?
I did, but not by Shia. That was just like me.
But it didn't bust your teeth up, or did it?
I think I got a little cut. I think I did get a little bit cut when there was impact. But I mean, it just sucks.
I had braces for like 3 years, and I had to wear a headgear.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, it was funny because I was, I think we're all insecure when we're young, right? I mean, shit.
Oh, I'm not. I mean, I was just
you were a stud,
Mr. GQ over here.
Shit,
nothing could stop me
every day.
Still got insecurities, but I wore the headgear to school because I was so determined to get this shit off as quickly as possible. Yeah. I wore that nasty ass headgear thing to school the whole time, and it still was on my grill for 3 years.
Damn.
And it was all to try to close. I had a little bit of an overbite.
Okay.
And I had to close this little gap in my teeth. And it closed, and then like a few years later, popped right back.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I was working. I was on Young and the Restless, and some girl that was on the show, she's like, "Oh, you have a gap in your teeth." And at that point, I really didn't really care. No, she's like, that's a sign of good luck or good fortune. And I'm like, oh, well, that just changed everything for me. I'm like, I'm keeping my gap. So that was it.
I'd like to bet you Michael Strahan has the same thought.
I have a gap in my teeth.
It worked for him.
I have a gap in my teeth
so
now.
If anyone out there has a gap, keep your gap. Wait, what's up with your teeth?
Oh, I fucked up my teeth badly.
Doing what?
Well, first one, I walked into a sign in Vegas on my 22nd birthday, drunk as hell.
That's
then
surprising.
I got it fixed, and then I fucked up the cap when I was 27.
Same tooth.
Same damn tooth.
Okay.
I was taking care of my friend's attack fish. I forgot what kind of fish it was. But,
this is interesting.
I stuck my face next to the tank going, "You're fishy, fishy, fishy." This thing rams the tank. I freak out.
Attack fish?
Yeah, it was a baku. I don't know what type of fish it was. It was this weird.
Is it a big fish?
Yeah, it was a big ass fish. You should have seen the size.
Was it
of
a
this
barracuda?
Fish. I don't know. It could have been
a baku barracuda.
It could have been like a shark barracuda mix hybrid thing.
So you got attacked by a fish and they took your tooth?
Well, it charged the tank. I went forward because I.
Wait, why would you go forward when it's coming at you?
Because I wasn't expecting it.
I don't know why you were flirting with the fish to begin with.
So I went forward and I knocked out the cap.
God damn.
And I lost.
I'm just trying to figure out how the heck your nose has survived, but your teeth keeps getting jacked up.
Yeah.
You have a cute nose.
Well, thank you.
I like your nose.
Let's see the teeth.
Oh no, you're not.
He doesn't want to see it.
No.
We'll get it fixed.
Yeah, I know. One of these days, probably by next episode.
Wait, so
Patreon.
So this is
Patreon, yeah.
We're gonna have a
this has
certain
been
Patreon part where you guys can donate.
A thing on social
Yeah,
media.
Save
and
his
then,
tooth.
And then COVID happened, and you couldn't get a fucking.
He needs to
dentist
save his
before
teeth.
they-
Ah.
And then
Okay.
eventually, yeah, one of these days.
Back-
Probably by next season.
You know what, man?
We're doing a Patreon. We're gonna have a little thing.
We're gonna get you some laser work done.
Hell
We're
yeah,
gonna
you
laser.
deserve
We're gonna
teeth.
laser
You wanna
clean
see a
those
big
teeth.
smile.
Just attach Walt Disney's head. He's been keeping it on ice for me.
Oh my god.
Let's see. So where are we at? So yeah, singing, trauma. What else? Eggs.
Singing
We're just
about my trauma.
Singing about my trauma. No, I think it was a
Jazz
good. I think this was a really good episode. I don't really remember who wrote it. I probably should. We should start like picking up like the IMDb and looking at who was all involved. But let's see. I want to see who directed this because Paul Hohen directed a few of them, and he directed the first one that we.
Yeah, Paul Hohen was on a lot of them.
Yeah, he's a huge director for Disney Channel. He's directed all of the big things.
I thought it was a fun episode, though. I definitely liked. It was one of those few episodes. Well, I shouldn't say few episodes. You guys work together on a lot of them. Like the sibling rivalry is kind of like resolved, and you guys come out on top. But that was a fun one. A nice warm-hearted ending to that episode. Although I'm sure you guys found a reason to hate each other at the end again.
I'm just trying to remember if he directed any of the ones I was in. But God, it's so long ago.
Oh, it was.
Paul Hohen?
It was.
there
Okay,
you go.
thank you, Joe. I was like looking at my phone being
was
rude
Paul
on my own
Hohen.
podcast here.
Joe, we just have to have you be our Jamie.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, can you look that up for us, please?
Right?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we need that.
So Paul Hohen is great. I mean, he's a great guy. We could call him right now. Paul's literally directed all of the biggest like Disney movies. I think he's directed Descendants and stuff. Like he's huge. Yeah, and I think he's also one of the friends of like all those guys. Like they all grew up surfing together.
I never got along with him.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. No.
I was gonna say, really? Oh,
You didn't know him that well?
No, I didn't know
Okay.
that well. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I
Paul.
know he was on the show, or did a lot of the episodes, but yeah, never really connected with him that much. But I think he really did most of the big shows that were like. Again, I was only on like 13 out of 22 episodes. I think that's what my guarantee was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And when they did use you, sometimes it would be like smaller, like.
Exactly. It's the B crew. It's the B crews going out and shooting the episode.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm trying to think about what your contribution was in this episode.
I looked great. That's what it was.
And it was
Beefcake,
like,
baby.
yeah, you were like by the refrigerator, and I think to your character's credit,
I love how that's going to be the moment everyone remembers. Yeah, Donnie was by the refrigerator. He was throwing in the eggs.
he had a gap in the middle of his teeth.
Had a gap.
You almost had a dick joke though. I think in this episode.
Almost had a dick joke.
Yeah.
He always had like phallic and sexual innuendos. Him and Tugnut.
He goes.
had, like,
he's like
very-
looking in the mirror, and he goes, because he was talking about things that are different than middle school, and yet you're like looking in the mirror, and you're like, it's gotten bigger, and you're like, supposed to be indicating your bicep. But you're looking a little bit below your
Hold
bicep.
on
in
a
the
second.
thing.
Is this so? When you
Dude,
got
this-
things like that, do you remember?
No, I think it's just.
You didn't think that
I
much
think it's
into
the
it.
sick and twisted mind of
Definitely.
beans over here.
Definitely me. Definitely just my mind.
There's
Yeah.
actually a lot of people who watched Four Beans in college. It got back to me that there was a drinking game dedicated to beans.
Every time
beans?
beans showed up, everyone would drink.
Yeah.
That makes a
Or
lot of
anytime
sense.
you said bacon, like, I don't know, we have to Google this.
I think it was the bacon thing. I think it's every time someone says bacon that
Bacon
they would drink. Yeah.
and beans.
Look how many lives you've impacted.
Oh, not for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
These
sorry.
kids, and it was at Yale
you just-
specifically, so some very good minds were inspired by you.
boy.
to
AA
drink
just
on a
got some
Saturday.
new
Just
got
got it.
some new attendees.
Just got some new wings.
yeah, exactly.
An alcoholic earned their chair.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
my god.
You became part of the hazing.
Oh.
Yeah, regimen at
Regimen,
Yale.
yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
down the street.
At least it's Yale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
It could be.
No one's doing shit at Yale.
People
in my
love-
Could be SMC, right? Yeah.
People love beans. Seriously, like I can't wait till we start to talk about your episodes, just because of how iconic you became so quickly.
Yeah, it really is interesting how like when I meet people or run into people that know the show, your name is almost always one of the names that
100%.
that people mention. They're like, I remember Beans, because oftentimes it's like, wait, which one were you? Hey, thanks so much for watching this clip of Even More Stevens podcast. If you'd like to catch the full episode, go to our Even More Stevens Pod YouTube channel by clicking the link in the description. And for exclusive bonus weekly content, join our Patreon now. Just click the link below. Thanks for tuning in.